In the darkness, the air feels thick, pressing against my skin like a damp cloth. I stretch out my hand, but it's as if the space around me swallows it whole. No outlines, no shadows, just a void. The silence is suffocating, broken only by the frantic sound of my own breathing. I turn, unsure of which direction I am facing. There's no sense of space, no walls, no floor. Just an endless abyss beneath my feet. Then, somewhere in the distance, there's a faint noise, a whisper maybe. But no, it feels closer now. Something is moving softly, so softly that I can't even be sure if I'm actually hearing it or if it's just my imagination. But somehow, it's there, circling around me in the dark, patiently waiting for me. I stand frozen, trying to hear it. My heart pounds so loudly that it's all I can hear. This drowning out the quiet stir. I open my mouth to speak, to demand to know who is there, but no sound escapes my lips. The darkness presses tighter, and I realize now I am not alone. My chest tightens as I take a step back, my foot slipping on the unseen ground beneath me. It feels like stepping into nothingness, as if the darkness itself is alive, eager to swallow me whole. The whispering sound darts closer, circling around me like a breeze brushing past my ear. It's slow and deliberate, and it knows I am here, and it is taunting me. I try to speak again, but the words die in my throat. Instead, a faint echo of a breath whispers to me. It's mocking my fear. The cold creeps up my spine, and my hands begin to shake as they reach out, desperate for something to anchor me in the void. But there's nothing. I can feel something watching me, waiting. Then, I feel it. A soft, cold touch brushes against the back of my neck, like icy fingers trailing up and down my skin. I spin around, swatting my hands, hoping to smack whatever it is clearly surrounding me. My heart is hammering in my chest now, but the darkness remains. Empty. Still. But I know something is there, just beyond the reach of my senses. Suddenly, a faint, raspy voice hisses from the shadows, so close I can almost feel the breath against my ear once more. You can't hide. I stumble backward as terror seizes every inch of me. The void seems to tighten, pulling me closer, no longer a void, and I feel claustrophobic. I'm trapped. Panic surges as I scramble around, trying to find my way out of the suffocating black. But each step feels like I am sinking deeper into an abyss. Then, from somewhere ahead of me, a single pinpoint of light flickers, a dim, wavering glow, barely strong enough to pierce the darkness. My heart leaps, and for the first time, a hope begins to swell, an escape. I rush towards it, but my feet are heavy, like I am moving in slow motion, and my breath becomes labored. As I finally begin to draw closer, the light dims and fades away before my eyes, until I stand before nothing but endless black again. Something is taunting me, and I am trapped within my own nightmare. You'll never leave. The voice whispers again, this time from inside my mind. And in that moment, I finally understand. The darkness isn't just around me. It's inside me. The realization hits like a dagger, sharp and cold. The darkness isn't just pressing from the outside. It's seeping from within, crawling through my veins, wrapping itself around my beating heart. My pulse quickens as if something is feeding off of my fear, growing stronger with every panicked breath I breathe. I want to run, but where? There's no escape from what's inside me. The evil pulses, a living thing lurking in my blood and in my bones. The darkness shifts and thrashes within me, whispering a truth that I can't shake. It's always been there. My mind spins, desperate to remember anything, any sign that this was coming. But my memories begin to blur, as if they too are being consumed by the darkness. Flashes of my life only flicker and fade in my mind, the way the light burnt out before my eyes. All that remains are moments of anger, life's cruelties, and dark shadows in the corner of my thoughts. Have I always felt the darkness within me? I can't remember any positive thoughts now. I only remember the way the air seemed colder when I was alone, and enjoying being alone. It's a strange pull towards an unsettling loneliness and a deep hunger for more. More fear. More pain. Without it, I was empty. I shake my head, unwilling to accept the truth. No, I couldn't have always been this thing. But the voice inside me, the one that is no longer mine, whispers differently. You've always known. It says, laughing softly in the hollow of my skull. You invited me in. Remember? My stomach churns as I exhale, my body trembling with the weight of it. The darkness spreads, creeping up my throat, burning like ice. I can feel it now. Really feel it, slithering under my skin like a poison. It's an ancient, malevolent thing waking up and stretching inside me, like it's been asleep for far too long. Oh, I've been waiting. It hisses, the voice gaining strength. So long. And now, we are one. I drop to my knees, gasping for air that won't come, fingers clawing at my chest as if I could tear it out, rid myself of this growing corruption. But my hands fall limp. The darkness is too strong now, too deep, and I am powerless beneath its weight. You can't fight me, it says, sounding almost amused. You never could. The dim light that I had chased before flares in my mind, just a spark now, flickering weakly. I reached for it, desperate, knowing it's my last and only hope. But as my fingers brush it, the light sputters and dies. It's gone, gone for good, and the voice sighs in satisfaction, filling the void with its presence. Now, we will feed. And with that, I feel my body move, and no longer under my control. I am guided only by the darkness that now owns me, a predator reborn. I rise, eyes open wide in the black as the hunger consumes my body. And in the silence, somewhere far away, I hear the first of many terrified screams. The scream echoes in my mind, cutting through the thick blanket of darkness. For a moment, it feels distant, like a sound coming from another world. But then I feel it, an insatiable hunger surging through me, tugging and propelling me forward. It's not just the darkness now. It's me. Every breath, every heartbeat drives the need deeper, demanding to be fed. My body moves without me willing it to. My muscles are tensing, feet that no longer feel like my own carry me towards the sound. I should feel panicked, but instead, there's a sickening sense of excitement, a twisted thrill as I hunt in the pure blackness. The evil inside of me isn't lurking anymore. It's awake, fully alive, and guiding my every step. The scream comes again, closer this time. It's followed by frantic footsteps, someone running, trying to escape. But I know they won't. They can't. The darkness twists through the air around me, stretching and bending, as if the very world in front of me is folding to my will, or rather, its will. My mouth opens, and the sound escapes, a low, guttural laugh. The voice inside me purrs with satisfaction. They're afraid. It whispers, coiling around my thoughts like smoke. Good. fear only makes it that much sweeter. My mind recoils, wanting to resist, but I'm completely helpless to it now. The darkness is in control. I'm a puppet. The darkness is my master, and it pulls my strings by a force that I can't comprehend. I can feel my senses sharpening. Every sound, every movement in the air are more vivid than before. Oh, I can smell the terror in the air, thick and harsh, and I want it. Oh, I crave it. The figurehead stumbles, and a soft whimper escaping their lips as they crash into the ground. I hear the desperate scramble of hands on the dirt, the rasp of frantic breaths. I move faster. The darkness inside of me is growing with every step, feeding off of their fear. I am so close now that I can almost taste it. I can see them now, or rather, I can feel them. The energy of their life and fear. Their presence is a small flame in the oppressive black, fragile and flickering. The voice inside me urges to move closer. Do it. It hisses, a thrill rising in my chest. Take what's yours. I reach out my fingers, stretching towards the trembling figure. My hand brushes against their skin, cold and damp with sweat. They gasp, jerking away, but I grab a hold of them, and my fingers dig into their flesh. The darkness surges with pleasure, a wave of hunger rippling through my veins. Please. The voice trembles. For a moment, something flickers inside me, an echo of who I used to be, and I hesitate just for a second. But the darkness laughs, a deep guttural sound that rattles my bones. Mercy. There is no mercy left in you. And it's right. I feel it now. There's nothing human left in me, only the dark hunger that drives my existence. I tighten my grip, dragging the figure closer. They are weak, and their struggle barely registers against the raw power coursing through my body. With a final desperate scream, the figure collapses. Their last breath is a scruffy sob as their body goes limp within my grasp. The darkness inside me is pulsing now, greedily swallowing the last traces of their fear. Their life is lost and their soul dissipates until there's nothing left but silence. I stand there, breathing heavily, the body lying still at my feet. The world around me is quiet again, but the darkness hums with satisfaction, a low, sinister twang that vibrates through my soul. You see, this is what we are. This is what we've always been. I look down at my hands, at the lifeless form beneath me, but I feel no regret, no guilt, only an emptiness, a hollowed calm, as if this was always meant to be. What I was made for, what I was destined to become. And then, from somewhere in the distance, another sound, a faint trembling breath, a flicker of movement in the dark. The hunt is never over, and it begins once more. The darkness stirs inside of me, and I move again, feeling the hunger rise within me and adrenaline pumping through my veins. The hunger gnaws at me, insistent and growing, an endless void that can never be filled completely. It is never ending and is always hungry. Every breath I take fuels it, the satisfaction of the kill already fading, replaced by a deeper craving. I move forward, the world around me still shrouded in an impenetrable black space. The darkness inside and outside blurs, becoming one, and I wonder if there ever truly was a difference. Another sound reaches my ears, a faint shuffle, the barest hint of life in the endless night. The voice inside me stirs, eager and greedy. Closer, it urges, the words dripping with anticipation. Find them. I move with a purpose. Each step, I am more sure of myself. Every one of my senses are heightened. I don't even need to see anymore. The darkness guides me, pulling me towards my next prey. My thoughts, once frantic and confused, have quieted into a cold, calculating calm. This is what I am now. This is what I have become. There's a flicker of movement ahead, the soft rustle of clothing, and I catch a scent. Oh, it's fear. Sweet fear. Fresh and as thick as the air. I feel my lips curl into a smile, though it doesn't feel like my own. The darkness inside me is pleased. Its twisted glee courses through my veins. This one will try to run. But they won't get far. I quicken my pace, feet silent on the unseen ground. The thrill of the chase rises within me. My heart beats faster, but not with fear. It is excitement that pounds in my chest now. I can sense them now, the way their panic radiates through the dark, the erratic pulse of their movements as they fumble in the black searching for a way out. But there's no escape. Not from me. Not from what I have become. I hear a soft sob, choked in the back in a futile attempt to stay quiet, and I feel a rush of power flood my senses. They are close. So close. Go on. The voice inside me purrs. Let them feel you. before it's all over. I take a slow, deliberate step forward, allowing the faintest whisper of sound to escape. Just enough to let them know that I'm here. The effect is immediate, a sharp intake of breath, a sudden scramble as they try to move faster, blindly crashing through the darkness. I hear them stumble, fall, the rustle of leaves and dirt under their hands as they desperately claw at the ground, trying to get away. But there's no use. I'm already upon them. My hand shoots out, grasping their ankles with ease. They scream, loud and piercing, a sound that sends a shiver of satisfaction down my spine. I pull them back, their body dragging against the earth, their frantic kicks growing weaker as I tighten my grip. No, please, no. They cry, their voice breaking with terror. Please don't. Please don't. But the darkness inside me is deaf to their pleas. It's hungry, and it will not be denied. With the strength that no longer feels human, I flip them onto their back. I can't see them. My eyes are blind in the blackness, but I can feel the trembling of their body, the way their breath hitches in their throat. I can taste their terror, thick and intoxicating. The voice inside me hums with pleasure. This is what you were made for. This is where you belong. I feel my hands move on their own, wrapping around their throat, fingers pressing into soft, vulnerable flesh. They struggle, weakly, hands clawing at my wrists, but it's futile. I squeeze, the thrill of control surging through me, and the darkness within roars in triumph. Their breath falters, a gurgling sound escaping their lips as their body jerks beneath me. And then, slowly, the fight leaves them. The thrashing stops. Their limbs go limp. The life drains from their body as the darkness drinks it in. For a moment, everything is still. I sit there, crouched over their lifeless form, my breath steady, heart calm. There's no guilt, no remorse, only the quiet satisfaction of a hunger momentarily satisfied. But even as I stand, letting the body fall into the dirt, I know it won't last. The hunger will return. It always does. And each time, it will be worse. A bottomless pit inside me that can never truly be filled. You understand now, don't you? The voice inside me says, almost tenderly, this is who you are. Who you've always been, and who you will always be. I don't respond because I know it's right. The darkness has claimed me completely. I have never felt more alive, There's no going back. The darkness has claimed me completely. I have never felt more alive. There's no going back. As I stand in the endless black, the soft wind stirs the air, carrying with it the faintest trace of sound. Another heartbeat, far away, but moving closer. My body tenses, the hunger already rising again, and I turn in its direction, eyes unseeing, but my senses sharp. The hunt begins again, and this time, there's no hesitation. I am the darkness now, and it is me, and it will never stop.